Welcome back to our channel. I trust that you had a good section with me last week Friday at 10 a.m. Okay, so if you notice the trend that we've been following, last week Friday we talked about the influence of family on the educational sector of a child. Notice that the focus has been on the parent to the teenage child. Today again, we're still going to look further on family influence on the society of a child. Now notice, for the teenage child, notice that whatever influence that comes to a teenage child from the community, from the society, to a large extent, let's say 80% of the time, the parent can control that. Now, as a parent, if you don't like the community of friends that your children is hanging out with, let me tell you something, you can actually change it by creating a different community for your child. You can give your child a different kind of access to the end that they will be able to come out of the influence that they already having in the society, because trust me, you have that capacity to change. I have had to deal with parents and their teenage children where they will set a rule that by 7 o'clock no child should be outside. I know, right? Some of these rules don't actually work, but let me tell you something, there is a better thing that can work. You can choose to create a better environment for your child or for your teenage child. How do you do that? Intentionally make friends as a parent with the kind of access you want your children to have. So when you make friends with the parent of good teenage children, your children will automatically be in the community of a better teenagers. So you see, you discover that the influence that is coming from the lives of the other teenagers will be rubbing off on this one, because everything that teenagers speak from the society, they got it from the community in the society. So as a parent, you have 80% to 85% ground to play on how you are able to influence the impact or the influence that comes to your child from the society. You can start by saying, okay, as a family, we are not going to be outside a particular time. We are not going to be found standing on the road. Now, when I was growing up, there was this principle that my dad had that helped me while I was growing up. So my dad doesn't like us, any of his children, to be found where there are crowds. So let's say, for example, somebody, they are fighting in the area. My dad does not want to use his ear to hear that any of his child is not fighting. No, that's even the worst part. You are not caught around a place where there's fight. You see, those are things that my dad said for us that we grew up. I personally grew up. So you will barely catch me in a place where people are gathered and they are much. So as a parent, you can help your teenage child decide the influence that comes from the community. You can create a community of your own, right, where she or he can find solace, can find the right access, can also find the right influence, because you are the one who is creating it. Another thing again is, as a parent, you can have time where you take your children out. Yes, it's not weird. Stop looking like it's strange. There are people who actually do it. It's just because you are the one feeling that that's wrong. No, it's not wrong. I understand you're thinking about the money that you want to spend. Calm down, Joe. How much you want to spend? Why you go buy 5K things, your child don't do alright. But joke apart. Have you liked? Have you commented? Have you subscribed? If you have not, please do that, so that more people will have the period of hearing this same thing that you already. Back to what I was saying, you can take your child out to some certain kind of environment where they can get the right access to the right people. That again will reduce the influence that comes from the society. So dear parent, this week, the next week, and the previous week is for you on how you can help your teenage child maximize the influence that comes from education, maximize the influence that comes from the society, and also next week maximize the influence, or much more push further the influence of religion. Thank you very much for staying true and staying tuned to this channel. I look forward to seeing you next week Friday. God has blessed you.